28 years old, you're looking back on your life and you're wondering to yourself why nothing panned out the way you thought it would. You're paying for OF subscriptions because that's the closest thing you'll ever get to seeing a beautiful woman get busy. You still ask your parents for money to pay for groceries because you can barely afford to pay your bills. And on your free time, all you do is play video games like Fortnite and yell at little kids because that's the only way you feel like a man. Telling little kids that they suck and they're not as cracked as you in this game, as if this game has any real impact on your reality. Where did I go wrong? How did I become such a loser? Is it too late? Am I cooked? The short answer to these questions are no. It's never too late to turn your life around. But I'm sure if you had the opportunity to redo your teenage years, you probably would have approached your life way differently. If only there was somebody or something that could have guided you in the right direction. I know how I was as a teenager. Distraction and temptation all around us at every single corner. I kinda don't blame you for your faults, man. It's very hard to navigate this crazy world that we live in, especially now. And that's why in today's video, I wanna talk about the 7 laws of self-improvement. And if you stick around to the end and do not skip any of these steps, after watching today's video, you are going to feel a huge level of enlightenment. These laws will allow you to self-reflect and help you to get on the right path as a teenager. Get you ahead of the curve in life and allow you to be in that top 1% as a man. Because I promise you, in your late 20s, you do not want to end up like someone that I described in the beginning of this video. Now, one tip before we get started that every single one of you need to be paying special attention to, especially as a teenager, is self-care. More importantly, skincare. Maintaining healthy skin isn't just about appearances, it's about how you feel too. Just like staying fit or putting on a nice outfit, taking care of your skin is a crucial part of self-care as a man. And that's why I'm very excited to be having Teach Hanley sponsoring today's video again. Here's the facts. Teach Hanley has made it so easy for guys like me and you to get into skincare, especially if you're just getting started. It's the perfect go-to for guys like you and me. So when you start with the level 1 system, you're gonna get all of the essentials. You're gonna get a daily face wash to clear all the dirt and grime, an exfoliating scrub to use only twice a week, which removes dead skin cells, an AM moisturizer with SFP 20 because protecting your skin is very important, especially from that sun, and then a PM moisturizer to keep your skin hydrated while you're going to sleep. And here's one of the best things about Teach Hanley. Every single box includes one of these. It's a very detailed instruction card and it tells you exactly how much you need to apply on your face. So you're never left guessing on how much to use or how much not to use. It's the perfect instruction guide and it's very easy to understand. Full transparency. These are the results of using the products for only a week. You can clearly see a difference. And it's not just me. Teach Hanley has over 10,000 5-star reviews from customers worldwide. Happy ones. My people over at Teach Hanley has really been rocking with our community that we have here, and they hooked us up with one of the best deals out there. By clicking the link in the description, you get 40% off of your first skincare system and a free gift. Plus, if you become a member, you're gonna get 20% off for life. One of their new gifts is this silicone body scrubber. It's worth about $20, and I'm not gonna lie to y'all, ever since I got it, I've been using it nonstop. I actually threw out my old loofah because this is my new go-to. So guys, if you're tired of dealing with skincare problems, click the link in the description and support the channel and start your skincare journey today with Teach Hanley. And now, let's get right back to these 7 laws of self-improvement. Very first thing that you're gonna wanna do on this list is start having an "it's my fault" mentality. Let me explain what I mean by this. I think a lot of times in life, especially early on as a teenager, there's way too many times that we're constantly searching for that excuse to explain why something isn't our fault and why things didn't go our way. If something bad happens to you, you're probably gonna go off to prove to everyone else that you're so innocent or why things didn't work out. But here's the reality, man. It's all just one big facade to try to make ourselves feel better about our shortcomings. Obviously, there are things in this world that are objectively out of our control. But if you start adapting a mentality that you are in control of everything that's happening to you, you can actually start making a huge difference in your life because you are in control of your life. And with that control comes responsibility. Because now instead of pointing the finger at everyone and saying, oh, it's everybody else's fault, you could be the reason why everything went right. Imagine you have a roommate. For whatever reason, this roommate doesn't wash the dishes. He just kind of leaves the trash all over in the kitchen. You come home from work every day and you walk into your kitchen and you just see mess. You do a pretty good job of cleaning up after yourself, but your roommate's not the best, especially when it comes to washing the dishes. Now everybody's different, but in this particular scenario, when you get off of work and you see those dirty dishes, it's affecting your energy. For some reason you feel angry. It might be something small, but because you've requested to your roommate over and over and over again, please just clean up after yourself. But he doesn't do it. Some of y'all might not agree what I'm about to say, but just give me a chance. I would argue that the immature thing to do after a while is to just sit there, let the dishes just pile up forever, be a complete mess in your home, and you're not gonna do anything about it because it's not your fault. But you live in that mess. This is your space, your energy. At what point do you take control of your life and say, you know what? This is my place. I don't want to deal with this. I want to feel peace of mind. I'll just clean it up myself. I don't need anybody inflicting their nasty habits onto my life. You're fixated on not doing something because you didn't cause the problem. But I'm fixated on solving problems so that I can forever be at peace and keep moving forward with my life. I get it. You don't want to clean up after somebody else, but what's more important to you? Peace of mind and being successful and being cleanly in your own space, or constantly living in disarray because somebody else doesn't want to do it? This might not be the best example, but it is proving the point. At some point, you got to stop pointing the finger and just take control. You don't need anybody else. All you need is yourself to make it work. And if it was truly a problem, maybe you need to separate and stop complaining. You see where I'm going with this? Take control of your life. Stop pointing the finger. It's your fault, and take ownership. That random scenario aside, when you start to level up with maturity, you are the bigger person. You're not worried about what everybody else is doing. And I think that's just a very powerful thing. And I wish somebody would have told me this when I was young. The second thing on this list that you're definitely going to want to start incorporating is learning how to be alone. Everybody's journey in life is going to be a little bit different. But if you're a teenager right now and you're in one of those friend groups and you're starting to realize a pattern that your friend group's ideologies and what they're into, it kind of doesn't align with what you think you want for yourself anymore. They're still making those same corny jokes that they used to make in middle school. All they want to do is play video games all day and try drugs. Always talking about nonsense that's damn near brain rot that is in no way, shape, or form going to build you up to be a better person in the future. I'm talking about having higher level conversation. Just a lot of, bro, did you see how lit it was last night at Jason's party? Oh my god, bro, I wish we would have went. We definitely got to do it this weekend. Like, how many mindless conversations are you gonna have with someone before you start to realize that, man, people that I'm hanging out with have no intellectual identity? You're starting to notice these patterns. You cannot be afraid to separate yourself. There's a very popular saying, I'm sure you've heard it before. You are who you hang around. You are what you eat. Whether you want to admit it or not, these people and these things that you're consuming over and over again every single day, it is holding you back. I get it. Those are your boys. You love them. You've been cool with them for as long as you can remember. And they're not even bad people. But every man at some point in their life has to take a step back and realize, if these guys aren't coming with me to the top, I might have to leave them behind. And hear me out. There's no need for any big announcements like,
oh my god, guys, I can't be friends with you anymore.
You're never gonna need to do that, because I promise you, when you start making those steps to level yourself up in self-improvement, you are naturally going to drift away from those type of people. Because while you're leveling up as a man, spiritually, mentally, physically, it's gonna be like they're running in place. Matter of fact, it's gonna seem like they running backwards because they're not gonna be able to keep up with you. And I hate to say it, man, sometimes that's just how it has to be. It doesn't mean that you don't love them, but you got to do what's right for you. As a man, you don't want to stay in the same place forever. It's always about leveling up. Know it might hurt sometimes, but it just is what it is, man. If you want to have the biggest and boldest future, you can't let anything or anyone stand in the way of it, even your closest friends. From this point forward, you're going to want to surround yourself with people that are better than you, people that are going to motivate you, people that are going to help mold you into the king that you are. Because the thing is, if you start leveling yourself with people that are much bigger and better than you, that is going to be the new goal. You're going to want to pass that. And I promise you, once you start going down this self-improvement journey, those type of people are going to gravitate towards you. Okay, now number 3 is a big one, man. And I wish I could have grasped this when I was a teenager, but this is a lifelong lesson. You need to learn how to get over it. Naturally, as a teenager, there are so many emotions that you're trying to navigate through, whether it's your friendships, relationships, or even dealing with your parents and siblings. A lot of times you find yourself in drama and you're dealing with emotions that stick on you for way longer than they should. And one thing you really got to start getting in your head is just to get over it. Let the past be the past. You cannot be that deeply emotionally attached to every single situation that happens to you. Life is full of lessons, and every time something bad does happen to you, you do need to take a step back, evaluate what's going on. Where did you go wrong? Where did you go right? The pros, the cons. You want to learn from your mistakes, but you absolutely cannot just keep living in the past, thinking about that girl that broke your heart 2 months ago, bro. I promise you there's gonna be another girl. I get it. You fucked up. You wish you had her back. It's okay to miss her. We're human. We have feelings. But you gotta get over it, my boy. I promise you, the quicker you realize it, life becomes so much easier. It's not about being carefree. That's not what I'm saying. But maturing is realizing that all emotions are temporary, and that's a good thing. You can't be happy if you're never truly sad, and you can't be mad if you were never truly happy. So yeah, you gotta accept your emotions while they're happening, but you also gotta be ready to move on so you can experience the next thing. I know what it's like, man. Whether it's that girl or it's just a bad situation, or maybe you even playing for a team and coach not giving you a chance and you know you better than that. It's so easy to get caught up in our emotions and stay stagnant. But I know this for a fact. Good decision making is usually not possible when you're in a very emotional state. So you gotta get over it so you can get back to that neutral state so you can start making sound decisions again. Number 4, as a teenager and shit, even as a person for the rest of your life, you need to have boundaries for yourself, but especially as a teenager, because this is when you're building a foundation as a man or woman for the rest of your life. If you're the type of person that's always, yeah, I'm down for whatever, YOLO, bro. You're never sitting back and thinking to yourself, ooh, maybe I shouldn't do that. If you don't stand for nothing, you gonna fall for everything. You gotta learn how to say no to certain shit, man. Have your boundaries, have your core value. We all grow up a little bit different, so it's gonna look different for everyone. But with that being said, everyone should have lines that you're never willing to cross. Gotta look deep within yourself and start to figure out what is important to you. Because unfortunately, too many teenagers are making life-changing decisions because they want to live in the moment. Dude, what are you like? 16, 17, 18, even if you're fucking 25. Don't y'all want to live long, healthy lives and experience everything life has to offer? Some of you guys are out here cutting your lifespans in half because you want to have fun in your teenage years. Because you want to look cool for these people that you're only going to know in high school. I promise you, after you graduate, you're probably not going to speak to more than 90% of those people. You guys have your entire life to live. Do not bet it all for these weirdos in your school. Look, I'm all for trying new things and experiencing new things with your friends. You're supposed to do that, but at the end of the day, you gotta have boundaries, man. There are certain lines that I'm not willing to cross. And these lines I'm talking about is gonna look a little bit different for everyone, but make sure you take some time to figure out what it looks like for you. Number 5, humility. This one is so important because some of y'all's egos are out of your ass and I don't even know why. Y'all haven't done nothing with life yet. Nothing. I cannot tell you how many people I knew back in my teenage years that got all the girls. Everybody loved them. They were the best at the sports. They might even have gotten the best grades in school. They were just hot shit. But fast forward a few years after high school, those guys are nobodies. Having that humility is gonna allow you to understand that, yo, you're not better than anybody else. You always need to be improving. You always need to get better. There is always more that can be done. Yes, you're supposed to be proud of your accomplishments. If you were a straight A motherfucker, man, you should be proud of that. If you were the best player on your team, you should be proud of that. Shit, if you even got all the girls, yeah, you should be proud of that. That's a lot of female validation, man. I wish I had that back in high school. But the problem with a lot of teenagers is when you get that validation, that shit goes straight to your ego. And that's where people start to lose themselves, because once you realize that, oh, I'm the shit, that is usually where being stagnant starts to happen. Because you think you're the best, you don't need to get better anymore. It doesn't matter how successful you are, it doesn't matter how smart you are, it doesn't matter how rich you are, it doesn't matter if you come from the hood, it doesn't fucking matter. Nobody cares. Get better, be stronger, be the best version of yourself every single time. Be polite, treat people with respect. That ego shit will never get you anywhere. Because one thing I know for sure, it doesn't matter who the fuck you are, there's somebody out there that's doing it bigger and better than you. And they're gonna have the edge because they're not an asshole about it. So stay humble, stay ready, and always be willing to learn, because if you're not learning, you're staying the same. Now, number 6, I feel like this is a given. I've said this before in other videos, but y'all need to get y'all asses in the gym. I've said it before and I'll say it again, but there is nothing more masculine than working on your body and improving on it little by little. And then one day you look in the mirror and you're like, oh my God, I look like a Greek fucking god. When you get in the gym and literally build your body brick by brick, and now you're looking at the best version of yourself, I promise you, bro, that is going to do something to your mental that you are now able to do anything. And here's the best part. If you're a fat slob, a nerd, a skinny, wonky guy that, you know, just looks not ideal, when you build your dream body, oh my God, it's like you get superpowers. Yo, I just went from this to this. I can do anything. That's what the gym does for you. It's not just about your body. The shit literally changes the way you think. Building your dream body is one of the most rewarding things you can do as a man and a woman. Something that I always like to say to myself is when I go to the gym and I just had the hardest workout of my life, I'm sitting there struggling to push this weight, almost crushed and caved my goddamn chest in. If I can do that every day, in comparison to everything else that I probably have to do that day that is more like maybe busy work, maybe I gotta read a book, maybe I gotta write a script, everything in comparison is actually so much easier. I'm talking about literally sitting there about to die with double my body weight, fucking pushing that shit with my little twig arms, and I succeed? Yeah, I could read a book. Yeah, I can write an essay. Yeah, I can take out the trash. Yeah, I can make my bed. Everything in my life in comparison is actually so much easier than that. I personally think that's a very underrated take that I don't really hear much people talking about. So get in the gym, earn it, and when you do, I promise you, you're gonna feel like you can do anything. Number 7 on this list, one of the best things that you can do as a teenager, and honestly, this one right here might be the best tip on this list. But if you can fall in love with the long game, I promise you, you're going to win. Because great things don't happen overnight. You're not gonna get your dream body overnight. You're not gonna be the smartest kid in your class overnight. You're not gonna find the girl of your dreams overnight. It doesn't matter whatever the fuck you're trying to do. Great things don't happen overnight. Yeah, you could be naturally talented at certain things and kind of be ahead of everybody else naturally. But at the end of the day, if you want to be one of the greats in any field, in any category, it's going to take time, persistence, and learning. The person that is willing to show up every single day and work on their goals every single day, no matter how long it takes, they just show up. Fail. I don't care how many times I fail. I'm going to show up and I'm going to try again because I know I can do it. The person that can adopt that mindset and really make that his lifestyle is going to win. How could you actually lose if you never give up? Nobody can stop you but you. Don't quit. And it's a lot easier to never quit if you start adapting the mindset that, yo, I don't care how long it takes. I'ma die trying. I'll never give up. You're gonna win. I've never seen someone dedicate their life and every single moment to this thing, to whatever the fuck it is, and lose. It's impossible. You might be thinking to yourself, well, Berto, I want to go to the NBA. I want to be a star athlete and I'm weak and I'm short. I'm never gonna do it. Well, one, we've had people like Nate Robinson dominate the league before, so it's possible for a short person to make it to the NBA. But I'll say this much, even if you don't land exactly where you think you're gonna go, you'll be surprised. If you keep pushing, you might end up coaching the NBA team. A lot of people don't think about that. They're like, oh, I want to be in the NBA. I want to be in the NBA. Only path to the NBA isn't just playing on the floor. You could be a coach. There's so many different avenues of chasing your dreams and sticking to it. So do not give up on your dreams. It doesn't matter what you want to do, wherever you want to be. I promise you, you can do it if you stick close to it. Never give up and be willing to go the distance. It's not a race, bro. It's a marathon, man. Take your time, lock in, and focus. It doesn't matter if it takes you 2 years or 10 years. Don't give up. Fall in love with the long game. Bro, it took me almost 9-10 years to get 100,000 subscribers on YouTube, bro. I promise you, I did not start doing what I'm doing right now, but somehow I kept chasing my goal of wanting to be an artist and a content creator, and I ended up here, bro, and started seeing some success, and I'm still nowhere near where the fuck I want to be. I promise you, I'm not even a smidget of where the fuck I want to be, but I never gave up. I promise you, I failed so many times, bro. If y'all really were to get my life story and everything that I've been through, I don't know what y'all would have did if you went through what I went through. I promise you, because I've been through it all, man. You wouldn't know that because I'm a G, nigga. I'll never quit. I'm always gonna win. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't crumble under other people's trying to make me fail. I'm always gonna show up. I don't care what happens. I don't care if I lose my arms, my legs. I don't ever want that to happen, obviously, but I'm gonna show up and win. And the only thing that can prove me otherwise is if God himself has another plan for me. And I'm sure if he does, he's gonna come down and show me, and my life is gonna change. But I'll wait for that. I'm going for what I want. If you guys adopt this mindset, you're going to win, especially as a teenager. This is gonna give you an edge that a lot of your friends and your peers are not thinking about. They just thinking, oh, they want overnight success. They want instant gratification. Nah, bro, that's not how that shit go. You're willing to put the work in and you don't care how long it's gonna take. And if you do that, hey, you might be surprised. That shit might happen faster because your focus is different. A lot of y'all be forgetting that most multimillionaires did not see any success till they were 30, 40, some even 60 years old, man. It's a new phenomenon right now where people are getting rich between 16 and 20 years old. And that's really dope. If that happens to you, bro, congrats, man. That is absolutely amazing. You're able to take care of your family and do whatever the fuck you want at a young age. That's amazing. But that might not be everybody's reality, but that doesn't mean you can't win. You gotta keep going and you can't give up on yourself, no matter what. If you fall in love with the long game and you're ready to put the work in, it doesn't matter what it is, the world is yours. These are all things that I wish I was better at as a teenager, and I want to make this into a series because I promise you guys I have so many more tips that I can give you guys, because I'm living proof of this shit does not happen overnight. I promise you, I done messed up in my life so much, bro. You guys have seen my stories on my channel, and a lot of those things that I talk about is more pertaining to women, but those are not the only failures I've had, man. I promise you. It's just funny how much I've messed up in my life. So, you know, if I can give back to you guys and potentially stop you guys from making the same mistakes that I did while trying to figure it out and navigate, man, I'm all for that. So you guys let me know if you guys want more tips like these. I love you guys. My name's Berto, and I'll see you on the next one.
Where you at, Berto?